Dong. Dong. Dong.
Dude, seriously, dongs?
I forgot to bring my sound effect of a church.
You could just put sound effects in. Come on.
Somebody can go from here into AC/DC.
It's about to say, it's the opening of
Listen to my children of the night. What beautiful music they make.
Oh, we gotta really scare these children.
The children of the league, what music they make. Meow. Meow. Seriously. Go watch Cat People. Werewolf.
Now that everyone has pressed stop.
Did you hear that? Beau went werewolf.
Hey, it's been a year.
It's been a while.
I genuinely missed it.
I did too. I got to the point I was like, it's cliched, but I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
of all the catchphrases, it was my favorite.
My annual Halloween hallucinogens are really kicking in right now, so might as well do a little flashback. Hey,
Indeed.
oh my God, it's Mr. Cotter and he has fangs.
The hallucinogenic saturated pumpkin seeds that you were
oh yeah, baby,
scooping out, going brains.
They were hallucinogenic?
Send more pumpkins.
I need some of those. Can you pass me?
Well, you know how they have blood oranges. Now they have blood pumpkins. Well, although when I say pumpkin, I mean head.
Man, going out and kicking in pumpkins on people's doorsteps just got totally cool.
Unless you're in the movie Trick or Treat, so probably a bad call.
Then you get fucked up.
Having sex with pumpkins is even cooler.
Dude, I totally fucked a pumpkin. Never what? It was a fraternity thing, and I'm just kidding. I wasn't in a fraternity.
Yeah,
wow,
I was just doing it for fun.
I'm never going to
have glory holes.
I'm never going to be able to have oral sex with a pumpkin again. Thank you very much.
It probably was a fraternity thing at some point.
I wasn't in the fraternity. I was just there hanging out.
So before we hear more stories,
I think coming from Central Texas makes you a frat boy by
Jason's
default.
college misadventures. Let's do the introductions. For one, this is the League.
A lot of people here.
Yes, there is. There's a League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen. We've got a big crowd in here tonight. We're going to go around clockwise. I am Cyrus. Unfortunately, there weren't enough microphones this week for Greg to have a mic, but I'm sure he'll still yell from across the room.
Hey, man, we haven't had Greg back in a long
With
time.
his bass.
All hail Greg.
All hail Greg.
Return of Greg.
He's about to spill a drink.
No, am I? Well, no. Thank you very much. I've been sick, but I'm back. I've been busy, and I'm back. And this is no bullshit. You don't understand how much I miss you guys. It's like a part of my life. Just
okay. I didn't know.
Enough of that. That's enough of that.
I didn't know you could actually catch plowing groupies and doing cocaine.
Yeah. From now on,
but that's good to know because I am going out to a club tonight and hope the antibodies are flowing.
Yeah, I bet you've been telling all your groupies about how much you miss us.
Yeah.
I missed
you can
back,
no
Greg.
longer speak, but you have only since you don't have a mic, you have to talk like Peter Frampton with the.
Where's the inflatable pig?
Greg,
all right, who's next?
Greg's looking mighty fly in his
Allison.
smoking jacket.
It's Allison.
And Grant.
And Leon.
And Beau.
And Kristen with her devil horns.
And Kayla.
Jason.
And hey,
Just say it.
Whoa! 3000. Let's do this.
And when I went to Goodwill looking for my Halloween costume for this year, they had a bunch of third to fourth hand appliances, and look who I found to bring on the show.
The co-host 3000.
Who? Oh, I thought you were gonna say Cyrus. But.
Corey Hawk's co-hosted a Goodwill.
Well, wait a minute. Well, if Coast is here, we can sing Grant home.
That's true.
Get the fuck out of here, Grant.
All right, guys.
You and your smoking jacket, trying to be all cool and hip.
And Grant actually showed up in his smoking jacket tonight. It was fantastic.
And Greg's got his on it, too.
He looks hot.
Mine smells like smoke and vomit, so I couldn't wear it.
Wait, well, then
Because you haven't
mine
taken
smell
it
like
off.
Smoke and vomit. I don't smoke and I didn't vomit. Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
My bad.
Your outfit you're wearing actually smells like that right now, too.
I got one too, but it smells like vagina. But I had to take it to the cleaners. Oh,
Jason, I gotta say, I actually just thought that was your cologne.
Hey.
It's better than it usually smells.
It's Axe's limited edition.
It's eau de ooh.
ask someone.
But okay, so this is our Halloween pre-party edition. Our next recording you'll hear will be us actually really drunk. I don't mean this drunk.
No, like a gradient of drunkenness,
yes,
really.
like well into the red danger level.
If we do it right, it should just slide.
Our next episode will be done by LEOG, the Legion of Extremely Drunken Gentlemen.
And as you can see, we're pretty drunk now, and there won't
So
be any
imagine
comparison to what we'll
the
be
next
like.
level.
Or it'll be the
recording.
coroner doing it. It'll be that little hanging microphone above our bodies saying, subject number 7 is wearing a smoking jacket and reeks of Jägermeister.
Do not adjust the nozzle. Do not look at the nozzle.
It'll be the episode that'll be further known as Exhibit A.
Yeah.
But then hopefully someone will inject us with some kind of glowing substance and bring us back from the dead. Reanimator. Thank you.
And then a severed head will give Kayla oral pleasure.
You know, I once nearly died and drank. I once nearly died and drank like 5 of those Kylo sticks trying to get over the dry heaves, and it does not work, kids. Just let me tell you.
And really, Jason, saying that, how many guys are out there cutting their heads off?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Hopefully none of you guys will suffer from whiskey dick either by the end of the night.
Like anybody here is getting
Yeah, I know
laid.
how much you hate that.
What was that?
Don't worry, we have appliances.
And Allison has snorted.
Co-host, if I find you fucking my Xbox again...
Right after Mary, but that's...
See? And that's it for co-host for this week. Everybody give him a big...
Dude, both those bitches wanted it. What?
Hey, I'm tapping back in.
But yes, I picture. Yeah, I was laughing at Jason like, "Oh yeah, they'll find us dead with the cord." It's like apparently he did 8 shots after he was technically dead.
Oh, is Jason gonna wear his Dylan Thomas costume to Halloween again? Great.
Which
And
is
are
what
you
I
gonna
would
wear-
do if I were a zombie. I'd be drinking. Fuck brains.
Fuck yeah. Beau's gonna wear his Edgar Allan Beau costume, and he's gonna disappear for 2 days, and we're gonna beat the shit out of him. And he's gonna show up in the ER, drunk, beaten all to hell.
Nevermore, 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 nevermore.
And married to his 13-year-old cousin.
Oh!
No. You're going as Jerry.
Gotcha.
You're going as Jerry Lee Lewis, right?
Hey, even Roman Polanski will look over and go like, "Hey, what about that guy?"
Yes, the Roman Polanski horror film we've all been waiting for, a biopic. Okay, so we're here to talk about horror movies and horror television shows this week. There will be no comics.
Wait,
What?
we can't talk about horror comics?
Whoa!
I just got the new anthology of House of Secrets.
Well, see, there you go. That's our horror talk.
Go on, buy House of Secrets. You should.
I just read Blackest Night
that-
4.
You keep that in the closet with your other secrets, but
Yes, I got a House of Gay anthology for you as well.
What?
Wait, if I can slip comics in here, anybody reading Crossed?
Didn't I just say no comics?
There's a ban on comics, apparently.
Okay, have
I
you...
wrote it in the...
Welcome to our horror comic episode.
I read the Archie wedding special. That was pretty horrific.
Oh, God, don't remind
Now,
me.
you guys know the kind of shit we catch when we don't talk about comics.
No, see, you always say that, and yet we don't. There'll be like one guy going, "Why'd you talk about comics?"
I know, but that
And
guy
yet-
rides my ass.
And yet I suggest to you, look at the number of questions that pop up in the question post when it's a specifically comics one versus one that's not.
Listen, that one guy, he's right.
What? That we should talk about comics every time?
Fuck yeah.
Well, we just did, so that'll be the comics.
I have an
discussion
idea.
for this
Let's
week's
just
week.
talk about spooky shit in general.
All right.
You know what? I'm about ready to talk about anime here in a second.
Oh God! It really is the horror episode.
I'm about ready to smash this beer bottle and sodomize you with it. So,
All
how
right.
about that?
All right, so
Again?
horror. Let's get on with it.
Yes, let's get on with it. And first off, let's just go, even though it's not horror movies and television shows, and it's not comics. Does anybody have a good Halloween jokes? Just out of
Halloween
curiosity.
jokes?
Yeah, a good Halloween joke. Come on, somebody must know a good Halloween
Jesus
joke.
Christ. What's the next question?
Okay, Kayla,
What?
please, you have the conch.
What did the witches sound like when they were at the racetrack?
I don't know.
Broom, broom, broom.
All right. What do you bury a mummified duck in? Kristen?
Dude, you killed my joke. I was fired.
That's a punchline.
I was giving you the punchline.
Yeah, but you killed it. Okay, so I wrote this joke myself. Where do you put dead geese? In a sarcophagus!
I don't get it.
It took two of y'all to do
It's like a Laffy Taffy joke.
yeah, exactly.
I do believe the only one who is writing Halloween jokes anymore are the people behind Bazooka Joe. So
Those guys are
Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy jokes. That's where we're mining all of our LEOG material now.
That's true. Those guys are brilliant, man. They I'm pretty sure the guys from Laughing got all.
What's the next question?
Is that it? You, Jason of all people, no Halloween joke?
No, I don't have any fucking Halloween jokes because it's not a joke.
Like what
You don't mess with Sawane.
What do people from West Virginia do for Halloween? Pumpkin.
I was gonna say Cyrus.
That's actually
you could have just told that and not have to put any of us on the spot.
The thing is, that's not even like a joke.
That's true. It's not. It's
like a documentary.
And to be fair, it's also a horror movie.
Yeah. And we will, of course, get the message from the one guy from West Virginia.
I'm from West Virginia. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I got one. How many lesbian werewolves does it take to screw in a light bulb?
4.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, that was funny.
Hey,
Werewolf.
what does a horny warlock like to eat? A sandwich?
Hey, can we all say it together?
I made that.
Shut the fuck up, Grant.
I'm only laughing because Greg thought that was really funny.
And poor Grant forgot to bring his megaphone.
You
Hey,
stupid
man,
bitch.
at least he had the balls to get out there and say something.
He did, unlike you.
Hey, Leon, tell some jokes.
Yeah, this is a tough room.
I made a joke on the spot. I tried.
There is no try. You must do or do not.
Fine, we'll go right to the
Okay,
questions.
wait. How about a deep thought from Jack Handy?
Yeah, that works, sure, if it's Halloween related.
I wish I had a kryptonite cross because then I could repel both Superman and Dracula.
Ooh,
It's true.
a nice thought. Or if Superman becomes a vampire.
That was really funny in 1989.
Or Kryptonian vampires.
Indeed.
I love that thoughts. I love them.
I think that's all the Halloween jokes there are, though. I don't
right,
think there
next
are
question.
anymore.
There's like 10 volumes. Trust me, they're all in my class library, and the kids have been telling me nonstop.
There are 10 volumes, and all of them have the same punchline: a Halloweenie.
Halloweenie.
All right, there's a
Most
married.
of them
I
are
don't want to be
dirty,
friends with anyone
surprisingly
who
enough.
just laughed at that.
There's a couple that's been married for 20 years, and the wife says, you know what? It's been 20 years. I want you to get me a special present. And the husband's like, well, fine. What do you want? I want something
A divorce?
that goes from 0 to 160 in 10 seconds. He's like, fine. I'll buy you a scale. Oh.
How's that a Halloween
It's
joke?
not.
It's not.
Fail.
You
It's the
should
first
make
joke that came to mind.
it's the bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. Say
Because
that.
she's really a witch.
A fat witch.
So it's
A
the
fat witch.
subtext that I'm missing there.
Yes, it's a delicate, sensitive.
Hey,
The only thing I
got
do-
one more. I got one more.
All I got is a leprechaun joke. So
The robot's got another
Yeah.
one.
All right. Why did the witch cross the road?
to get to the other side.
No, you dumb witch. Think about that for a little while, Cyrus.
Wow.
I know, it's just, yeah. I'm sorry, Grant, I take back the shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Seriously, Grant.
And
Yeah, why do you gotta rescind that?
as far as thinking about it for a while, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop thinking about it. So thanks.
Somebody shut him off.
Off switch.
I'm still laughing. Hold on.
Now, guys, we don't want to make too much fun of him because you know what happened last time.
Oh, yeah, no
18
kidding.
pages of fuck you, Lee.
Leave the co-host alone.
Leave co-host alone.
Actually, as I recall, that was fuck you, Ruby.
Yeah, where is Ruby? Her and her. Isn't that her living wearing Halloween costumes?
She's not actually responding to my emails anymore. Of course, admittedly, they're all pictures of me naked, but still. Anyway, let's just go on.
I don't
to the
respond to
questions.
those either.
Oh, did I accidentally add you into that group? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to put you on spam blocker. Sorry.
Ghost Rider, the beloved Ghost
beloved
Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Asked us a question she's been trying to get through for a while on other posts, just general posts she's asked. And this is the appropriate one. She says, okay, I'm going to ask you again, what are your favorite classic horror films? And by classic, I mean from the silent era to 1970. My Halloween wish is to hear the answer this year.
Well, thanks, Ghost Rider. Now, who do we have next?
We don't watch anything that was created before Saw.
You know what? I got to go with my two favorite horror films. The Exorcist, of course, because it's like, wow, was that movie like really scary?
That's not before 70.
1976.
Wait, before 70?
Yeah.
Before 70.
Listen to
Oh,
the
before
question.
70? Oh shit.
Come on, you were around like during the 40s.
Yeah, the 1840s.
Then I'm gonna go with Dr. Sardonicus.
Cool.
Mr. Sardonicus.
I just got.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Sardonicus.
I just got sent that. I've never seen it. I'm really looking forward.
Dude, I showed it at one of our Real Deal movie nights.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it's one of those movies like when I watch it now, I watch it more to like kind of enjoy and laugh at it. But when I was a kid and I saw that, it fucked me up.
He is still a creepy son of a bitch.
And that's William Castle, of course, who did all the classic films like The Tingler and the ones where he had special effects built into the theater to fuck with the audiences.
But he did actually make some good movies. A really good one is not the Haunting at Hill House, the House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent Price.
The original, not that weird remake that they made.
Not the weird remake that they did.
The good one?
Vincent Price, the good one. Very great, black and white, 1960s. But I really think, like, if we're talking, like, classic stuff, the people that really started all were the Universal horror movies.
Yep.
And those were the most important of which being Dracula, 1931 with Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, The Mummy with Boris Karloff, and The Bride of Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. I mean, that's the DNA for the monster movie.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Which do you prefer, Frankenstein or The Bride?
As far as quality filmmaking, Bride rocks.
See, I think when people start naming like sequels that are better than the first movie, they often forget The Bride of Frankenstein, and I think that's one of them.
That has one of the most heartbreaking, and it's not the final line, I don't think, but it's one of the last lines where I'm gonna spoil the fucking 60-year-old, 70-year-old movie.
Hey, 70.
70-year-old. Yeah, where he's about to throw the switch.
It's also where in the first movie, the Frankenstein's monster cannot speak, and he is taught to speak in the second movie in a scene that is, if you've ever seen Young Frankenstein, Gene Hackman's role. That's what it's ripped off from. But it's actually very poignant in the movie. It's very cool.
They say he's about to flip this switch and kill everyone in the castle, and they say, no, don't. You're going to kill us all, or something to that effect. And Frankenstein, heartbroken that his new bride does not love him and is terrified of him, he grabs the switch and he looks at everyone and he says, "We belong dead." And he's just heartbroken.
Damn.
And he throws the switch and
You thought that was sad?
burns it all down.
You thought that was sad?
You shut the fuck up, robot.
Puss.
Come on.
Yeah,
who in high school didn't wish they could do something like that?
This sounds like every relationship I've ever had.
Here we go.
Pull the switch! Pull the switch, Allison!
Except for the whole dying at the end thing?
I wish.
Yeah, you wish.
Hey, Allison dies a little inside every time that happens.
No one escapes high school without getting their heart broken and wishing they could have that moment.
She came back for the remake.
Going a little bit further up the pike, I'm going to talk a lot on this one because it's the one that I know most about, and the rest of all the slasher stuff and contemporary horror I don't know shit about, so bear with me. Val Lewton stuff, Cat People, Curse of the Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie, The Grave Robber. These are some amazing stuff that, because of the Universal horror movie success, RKO Pictures went to a guy named Val Lewton and they were like, make us some B horror movies, and he took and got these young writers to do these really incredible scripts, got really incredible directors, one of whom was Robert Wise, who went on to do The Haunting.
When they said make some B monster movies, Val Lewton basically said, "No, fuck you guys. Those are dumb.
I'm actually going to make some good movies, and they're creepy psychological thrillers, and they really utilize the idea that what we fear most is what we can't see. Especially like Cat People and The Leopard Man are the two primary examples of this. But those things are well worth checking out.
Agree.
Cyrus's farts, those are scary.
Also,
sometimes you can see.
I agree. Yeah.
I absolutely love Roger Corman's 1960s stuff, especially the stuff that he did that is loosely, and when I say loosely, I meant almost not at all.
You've answered like 4 times, and there are a bunch of us.
I know.
Throw that out.
Adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe stuff, Pit and the Pendulum, Mask of the Red Death, The Raven, most of which are all with Vincent Price. Classic, fucking marvelous, macabre, cool stuff, and some of the best opening sequences ever. I mean, just really well filmed.
Vincent Price is in one where they called it, I want to say they called it The Haunted Castle or something like that, but it's actually an adaptation of an...
I think that is The Haunted Castle.
Well, no. Well,
the Castle.
there's one, maybe it is The Haunted Castle, but it was named after an Edgar Allan Poe story. But if you watch it, it's actually The Strange Case of Charles Dexter Ward, which is H.P. Lovecraft.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good.
They actually showed that at the Alamo just a couple of nights ago because they couldn't get the rights to Mask of the Death.
Oh, okay. Allison,
I was going to see that.
pre-1970.
Oh shit.
I've never seen that.
I think Beau took
It's
them all.
good. You did.
I have two
Lots of
favorites.
boobies.
I have two favorites. One, okay, it's no secret. I'm a bit gothy around the edges. So I'm going to have to say The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Because it's all creepy and German expressionist.
It was almost like the beginning of German expressionism, if not
Yeah,
it was definitive.
Well, it was pretty much the beginning of horror.
There's a really good German expressionistic film package you can get on Amazon.com, and most of them are kind of horror related, so well worth getting.
Man,
It holds up to this day. I mean, it's creepy now.
What's funny is like you look at it and it's like you realize how inexpensive it all is in the sets and what they're doing, and yet it's so creative and creepy and surreal, despite the fact that it's cardboard and black paint. And every time I go to a local haunted house, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And you watch it and you think, oh, this is what Tim Burton was trying to do.
Yeah.
And wasn't that film like one of the originators of like the quote unquote shocking ending or surprise endings?
Yeah, it was pretty surprising, but I think mostly it's saying
You're thinking Sleepaway Camp.
all. I know what you did last summer.
That's a good one. That's on.
I know what you did last summer, and that was get sexual reassignment surgery.
I tell you, every time I hear about this, I just think, like, man, I want to open a seafood restaurant called the Cabinet of Dr. Calamari.
Was that one of the Halloween jokes?
He had a Halloween
Crazy
joke.
good lobster.
It's a trap. Your taste buds can't withstand flavor of this magnitude.
Come for the freak, stay for the food.
Free brine shrimp in every beer.
What was your other one?
But also, in fact, I was just speaking to Jason about this a short time ago. There was a black and white film that I had to watch in horror film class that, blew my mind because it was so leaps and bounds beyond anything that's happening right now in its creepiness. And that's a movie called The Innocents, which is super creepy, black and white, ghost story kind of thing with all kinds of like creepy overtones, and you should totally check it out.
Very similar to The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
And The Others borrows a lot from The Innocents.
I like both of them.
Yeah, they're both really good, but it's very similar, and it is just The Innocents is the spookiest damn movie.
It's super spooky, and it's one of those things where it's like, am I going crazy? I could possibly be going crazy. Maybe there are
And in
pills
Allison's case,
for
the
this.
answer to that is generally yes.
Well, it's funny how, like, back in that black and white period, there's a lot of movies that were all about some guy marrying a woman and driving her crazy. Like, apparently it was easy to convince everyone, like, oh, this woman has gone crazy.
The House
Everybody
on
go like,
Haunted
oh,
Hill,
yeah, right on.
Less
you just
diabolique.
ship her off.
Or however you say that,
Well, and
diabolique.
even go back, Gaslight and Rebecca, two classic thrillers, are
sure.
very, very much about that.
It was quite prevalent. It's like, why get divorced? I'll just tell everybody my wife is crazy. She'll get sent to a sanitarium, and then I can hook up with my girlfriend.
And it's not even a question of why get divorced. It's like back then, it was hard to get a divorce. I mean, you couldn't just say,
So
hey,
you had to drive him crazy.
well, I mean,
Or kill him like Henry Davis.
you couldn't just go and say, "Hey, we don't get along," because they'd be like, "Well, fuck you. You told God that you're never
Nobody
breaking
else
up,
does.
so you're fucked."
So guys, if you're upset that it doesn't seem like you can meet a woman these days without her being secretly crazy, blame Vincent Price.
Exactly.
Thanks, Vincent.
Kristen,
Thanks a lot.
pre-1970, what's yours?
I actually have one. I love the Lon Chaney's Fan of the Opera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I love the musical, and I even love the film adaptation of the musical, and I saw those things before I saw the Lon Chaney. So when I sat down to watch the Lon Chaney one, I was like, oh wow, like,
the guy who wrote the play actually took a lot from the original, stayed pretty true to it, I felt.
Wait, isn't that all based on Phantom of the Paradise?
No.
Shut up. God, that movie fucking sucks!
Dude, I love Phantom of the Paradise.
No, me too.
But when I look at the,
You should,
the original
form a
Lon Chaney
club
Phantom of the
and, hang
Opera,
out.
now I go like, you know what? If this guy was to visit a dentist and a barber, it would probably turn his whole life around.
Yeah.
They didn't have dentistry and hair cutting in Paris of the late 1800s.
But true. Back then it was
Are
all,
you mad?
It was all leeches for them.
But yeah, I
Take these 5 leeches and call me in the morning.
Let's go
But
down
my
to the
face has
Moulin
been burned off.
Rouge.
I do
Chaney
love that
anything,
story. Yeah, it's a great story, and I haven't seen of the 3 versions I've seen, I haven't seen one I've disliked, but the original, yeah, definitely go back and watch the original silent film era one.
The great thing about like a lot of these early movies, the Universal stuff and the silent movies, is that they contain a lot of the stuff that we think is corny now, but back then wasn't so corny, and it's really atmospheric and cool and Halloweeny. I mean, as far as like the haunted house, the scary castle, spooky cobwebs everywhere. You don't get those in horror movies anymore, but back then you got it a lot, and they're very beautiful in their own way, and they're very like evocative. I watch this stuff every Halloween just because it puts me in such a great mood for being spooky.
You know what? I'm curious here. I want to ask Kayla, because I know that Kayla has a lot of experience with 70s and 80s, but do you have pre-70s stuff that you really like?
Yeah, I've seen most of the stuff they've talked about, and right now it's really sad because I am exhausted. So my brain isn't working at all, and I'm like, I know the movie that I want to talk about.
Well, you should balance the rest of us because we're just drunk, so.
Yeah, you could have the run of the board.
So my brain's just not working, but the guy who did The Great McGinty and Miracle on Morgan's Creek, what's his name?
God, he's the same guy who did the Lady Eve and,
Yes.
and
If only we had access to some web-based program that could tell us.
what do
his
you
name.
call that?
Oh,
I
but
don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, what's
Damn
it?
it.
Preston
It's
Sturgis.
it's
Preston
But
Sturgis.
yeah,
Yeah, right on.
he has this great. I went through this past year has been nothing but Preston Sturges movie. I watched actually his entire catalog that's available.
He was
And-
arguably the first auteur in film.
Yeah,
Arguably.
and by the way, if you're a film fan at all and you haven't seen Sullivan's Travels, go out there and watch it too.
And the Lady Eve.
And the Lady Eve, yeah.
And Miracle on Morgan's Creek.
Yeah, pretty much
They're-
Preston Sturges, period.
But he has this amazing horror movie where this guy thinks his wife is cheating on him, and as he's going through all the emotional stages, he's writing music, and the music's based on his emotions, and he's killing his wife
What's
in
the name of
different
the film?
ways.
Okay, I'll look it up. Keep talking.
So
he's
yeah.
killing her softly with his song.
No, that's Roberta Flack. Or actually,
No, Roberta Flack, that's right.
Well, yeah, but she's actually, you know who she's talking about in that song?
Oh, I heard it once. I don't
Wyclef
remember.
Jean?
It's Don McLean. The
Oh,
guy,
really?
the guy who wrote American Pie.
American Pie,
yeah.
really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
the guy who's killing Roberta Flack, one of the most beautiful black women who's ever laid down anything in vinyl. The guy who killed her softly with a song. Big white hick boy named Don McLean.
Actually, he was like a fidget.
A fidget?
A fidget?
He
As
was
he's wiggling a lot?
What was he small? What?
Yeah. Fidget is a
That's
contraction
midget.
of fucking midget.
Wow.
No one else has
How are
heard
we
this?
supposed to know that?
So what's a
You guys
fidget
didn't know this?
then?
You know, as if our shins weren't safe enough.
And to tie it back to the Beatles, she lives in the Dakota where John Lennon lived.
In the Dakota.
Okay.
Who's
Wow.
Who?
And somehow we didn't have a mic left over for Greg, huh?
So,
Clever on my
While we're
part,
searching for this, Grant, do you
Yeah,
have,
Grant, did you have?
Grant's seen like 3 horror movies. No, he doesn't have
I
anything.
didn't even know that movies came out before the 70s.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Well, I usually
By
adhere
the way,
to-
Grant, I'm never being nice to you again.
I usually adhere to the rule
You were
that
nice to me?
movies were invented May 25th, 1977, but sometimes I find something that deviates from that rule.
What
such
what
as-
happened on that day?
It was the white event
Well,
that created the
Jason,
pop
you
culture
being
universe.
the master of horror, at least in this room.
Or the masturbator of horror, one of the two.
Both.
Nicely.
Pre-1970,
I'll take
I gotta
choice
go
B.
with the 1968 original that created Zombies as We Know Them, Night of the Living Dead. That is truly a claustrophobic fucked up film that devolves into. I mean, it starts off as this social satire of people walling themselves off from the troubles of the world, and all of these different people kind of coming together to try to survive in the oncoming apocalypse, and it just breaks down into this every man for himself Alamo siege movie, and it's so claustrophobic with askew angles and cheap budgets and lots of chiaroscuro, and it's just so damn good.
Greatest horror film ever made. I always watch it every Halloween night.
It's one of those classic movies that establishes that the black guy doesn't have to be the first one to die.
Yes.
But he does have to die.
He sort of does, but he's still a badass when he does die.
Well, I've told this anecdote before, and people have asked George Romero. They've said, well, why did you cast Dwayne Jones as the lead character? Were you trying to say something, trying to cast a black man? Because in 1968, casting
he's a black guy. He's willing to work for nothing.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Well, hey, on top of that, he gets to slap a white bitch. So.
Right. Well, they said, so you were.
If none of you have ever done that, oh man, it's awesome.
Is it the bomb? Like I always hear, is it the bomb?
Just once.
I'm about to do it.
God damn it! If only it was the 1960s, I could do that.
Well, but yeah, they asked and they said, well, were you trying to just say something about racism in the 60s and cast a black man as the lead? And George Romero said, no, he just gave the best reading. Which I thought was fucking awesome.
But I can't buy that because.
Come on.
No, but having the cops shoot him at the end is so poignant. Like, that makes up like a huge statement.
Oh, fine. I hadn't seen it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, spoiler.
The spoiler.
Wait, 48.
Spoiler strikes
I'm
again.
sorry. The spoiler strikes again. I didn't give you enough time to see that movie.
I came here from the past in a spaceship. So I haven't seen a lot.
Night of the Living Dead is pretty cool.
Speaking of great originals that have been remade umpteen million times.
Pay attention. This is Beau's 9th answer to the question.
Hey, dude, when you guys start talking about the slash stuff, I got nothing to say. So there we go. If you watched I Am Legend and were resolutely disappointed, as if you have any taste, you should be.
Right
man,
on.
It's cool that the dog gets killed.
Please, by all means, go